The fact that we know so little about the cosmos is one of its most fascinating aspects. And just as we desire to know what happens after we die, science has wondered about the end of the cosmos for as long as man has been able to think about such things. Number 8. The Big Crunch. The Big Bang Theory is the most widely accepted explanation for how the universe came to be, in which all matter first existed as a singularity, an impossibly dense point in the abyss of nothing. Then something triggered the explosion. The matter expanded at an astounding rate, eventually forming the universe we see today. The Big Crunch, as you might expect, is the polar opposite of the Big Bang. The gravity of our universe affects all of the matter extending outward at the universe's edges. Gravity, according to this hypothesis, will eventually compel this expansion to slow to a standstill and begin to contract instead. The contraction will pull all of that stuff back to the center, where it will revert to an impossibly dense singularity, wiping out everything. And then we'd be left with the same conditions as before the Big Bang, with all of the universe's matter condensed into an infinitesimal point. However, based on present understanding, this is unlikely to occur, given scientists recently discovered that the cosmos appears to be expanding at an accelerated rate. Number 7. The inevitable heat death of the universe. Consider heat death to be the polar opposite of the Big Crunch. In this instance, gravity is insufficient to overcome the expansion. Hence, the cosmos continues to grow exponentially. Galaxies move apart like bereft lovers, and the enveloping night between them becomes ever wider. The universe obeys the same thermodynamic rules as every other thermodynamic system, and they all end up the same way, with heat distributed evenly throughout. If we extrapolate that to our cosmos, we get all of the matter evenly distributed throughout in a chilly, black, dull mist. Eventually, the stars will all fade away one by one, and there will be insufficient energy to ignite new ones. At some point, the entire cosmos will become dark. Matter will still exist, but in particle form, with completely random motion. The cosmos will be in balance, and these particles will bounce off one another without exchanging energy. We'll be left with nothing but particles in space. Number 6. Heat death via black holes. According to one prominent view, the vast majority of matter in the universe revolves around black holes. Consider galaxies, which contain practically everything and contain supermassive black holes in their centers. Cannibalization of stars, or perhaps entire galaxies, as they fall towards the event horizon of a black hole is a big aspect of black hole theory. In a finite world, these black holes will eventually eat the majority of matter, leaving us with a dark universe. When an object was drawn close enough to a black hole to emit energy, there would be a flash of light, much like lightning, and then would go dark again. We'd eventually be reduced to nothing more than gravity wells in an abyss. The less big black holes would be consumed by the more massive ones, resulting in larger, even more gigantic black holes. However, this would not be the universe's final state. Black holes evaporate over time because they generate what is known as Hawking radiation. As a result, after the last black hole dies, we will have an even distribution of subatomic Hawking radiation particles. Number 5. You would never become old. It would be a form of phantom immortality. However, you'd never know. Number 4. The Big Bounce. The Big Bounce is comparable to the Big Crunch, except it is significantly more upbeat. Consider the following scenario. Gravity slows the expansion of the cosmos and reduces everything to a single point. According to this idea, the force of the quick compression is sufficient to cause another great bang, and the universe begins again. Things are recycled rather than destroyed in this approach. Because physics does not agree with this hypothesis, some scientists have proposed that the cosmos may not go all the way back to a singularity. Instead, it approaches and is repelled by a force comparable to that which repels a ball when it is bounced off the floor. This big bounce would be extremely similar to a Big Bang and, in principle, would result in the creation of a new universe. According to this oscillating universe theory, our universe could be the first in a sequence, or it could be the 400th. There would be no way of knowing. Number 3. The Big Rip. Scientists feel compelled to use the word huge to characterize the end of the world, regardless of how it ends. According to this idea, an unseen force known as dark energy is responsible for the observed accelerated expansion of the universe. Eventually, the acceleration becomes so rapid that, like the Enterprise at warp factor 9, it can no longer handle it and rips itself apart into nothingness. The most terrifying aspect of this hypothesis is that while most of these possibilities take place long after the stars have died and nothing remains, the Big Rip is predicted to occur in another 16 billion years. Planets will continue to exist at this point in the universe's history, and this universe-wide calamity has the potential to burn them alive, tear them apart, or feed them to the space lions that reside between universes. It's impossible to say, but it will almost certainly be a considerably more violent end than the creeping heat death that most people expected. Number 2. Vacuum metastability event. This theory is based on the assumption that the cosmos is essentially unstable. Some believe that our universe is teetering on the brink of collapse based on the values of quantum physics particles. Some scientists believe that the cosmos will reach a tipping point billions of years from now. When this happens, a bubble will appear somewhere in the cosmos. Consider it an alternate universe. This bubble will grow in all directions at the speed of light, obliterating whatever it comes into contact with. This bubble will eventually kill everything in the cosmos. But don't worry, the universe will continue to exist. Physics principles will be altered, and there may even be life. However, the universe would be incomprehensible to us. Scientists believe it would be far more dull, and have even proposed that in order for life to survive, the cosmos may have to reside on the edge. Number 1. The time barrier. When we try to compute probabilities in a multiverse, we run into the same problem as in an infinite time universe. Everything has a 1-to-1 probability of happening. To get around this issue, scientists choose a part of the universe and simply calculate the probability for it. This helps the computations work, but the borders they draw usually chop off chunks of universes at the sample's outer edges. Much like drawing a circle on a map of the United States would cut off parts of Texas. Because physical laws do not apply in an infinite multiverse, the only way this model makes sense is if the border is a real, physical boundary beyond which nothing can expand. And according to physics, we'll cross that time barrier sometime in the next 3.7 billion years, and the cosmos will end for us. Now, it's highly likely that we simply don't have the physics expertise to fully characterize this occurrence yet, but it's certainly a terrifying idea. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. Which of these theories do you believe in? Let us know in the comments. Like this video and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next video.